Okay, so, anyway, as I was saying, alright, so, here's the thing here, we're discuss the Great Spirit makes these four tribes, and he's going to send them to the four corners of the world. Explain that to me, because you got the world, which is basically a sphere, and he wants to send them to the four corners. I don't understand how that works. Okay, because you start here, and it will just fucking lead to the center. Like, right back to the same pole where they started. On top of that, he says to the four tribes, which apparently all people started out as four colors, and we just kind of pastel crayon mixed as we went along. Like white, black, red, blue, or red, blue, green, maybe, yellow, whatever. Okay. And he gave them each 2 stone tablets, and he taught one tribe one thing and one tribe another. Why? Why would you even do that?
Nickerju.
You need to refrain from using profane and potentially.
Look at who you're talking
I know. But still. Uh, why would you do that? You have all the people right there in front of you. Why would you not just tell them, this is it. There you go. Or tell them nothing. And be like, here, figure it out. Have fun. Do whatever you're going to do. And then on top of that, be like, oh, by the way, here are these 2 rocks. Don't forget if they touch the earth, you're dead. I mean, that's a lot of goddamn stipulation. And a lot of, what happens when the dude drops the rock? He trips. And he stumbles. And what if it's a dude from another tribe? Why does my tribe have to die? That seems kind of unfair. And to the Native American people, the red people, there we go, he gave the guardianship of the earth. We are to learn.
He actually says red people?
Yes, it says red people.
And you're telling me not to be racist?
I'm not the one who wrote it. We are to learn during the cycle of time the teachings of the earth, the plants that grow from the earth, the foods that you can eat, and the herbs that heal. Then when we came back from the earth together with the sisters and brothers, we could share this knowledge with them. Something good was to happen on the earth. That is such an empty and vague statement that it sounds almost like it was like intentionally open-handed. Like, I'm not going to tell you fucking anything, so I leave room to say whatever I really want. You need questions I can answer however I go. Fucking grow this, but no, not that. You can't do that. It just seems like an unanswered question. And it was wrong. To the south, he gave the yellow race of people, so we got red and yellow people now, of the guardianship of the wind. They were to learn about the sky and breathing, and how to take that within ourselves for spiritual advancement. They were to share with us at this time. So, apparently, yellow people teach us to breathe.
Who are the yellow people?
I assume he means of ethno-Asian descent.
Right.
The writer of this article was shared. It was Lee Brown. But, I mean, he's clearly a terrible bigot. You call people yellow people. And, whatever. I don't even know what to say about that. To the north, he gave the white race of people. White is not even a color, first off.
That's right.
We aren't white. No one is white. Okay? An idiot thinks they're white. You're at the best tan salmon color.
Peach.
Maybe peach. You're more inclined to the colors of a vagina than you are to the color white, which isn't a color in the first place. He gave the guardianship of fire. If you look at the center of many things they do, you will find the fire. They say a light bulb is the white man's fire. If you look at the center of a car, you'll find spark. If you look at the center of the airplane and the train, you will find the fire. The fire consumes and also moves. This is why it was the white sisters and brothers who began to move upon the earth and reunite us as a human family. That just sounds like Aryan Nazi bullshit.
Yeah.
Saying that white people are great. Okay, I don't even know what. It just says like white people are geniuses. They built everything, and they created everything, and red people farmed, which I kind of take more along the lines of mean like it kind of sounds like you're talking about like Hispanic slave workers, and yellow people they make toys, and there's your PlayStations. And you got white people who, build things and are smart and build it and create, and they're going to reunite the world. But if you think of it, we're in charge of fire, that fucking burns everything. That kind of gets me. So you got red, yellow, white. Oh, then to the west he gave the black race of people, the guardianship of the water. They would learn the teachings of the water, which is the chief of the elements, being the most humble and the most powerful. The elders have told me that the black people would bring the teachings of the water. What are the teachings of the water? It doesn't say what the teachings of the water are. It just says they're humble and powerful.
No.
The fuck are the teachings of the water?
Does it matter?
It kind of does. You're leaving out a huge section here. Like, it says we're supposed to breathe and learn with the yellow people, and the red people teach us how to farm, and the white people teach us how to build magic cars and toiletries. Black people, they got water. It's awesome. That's like we gave them the February of powers. Here's Black History Power. You have nothing. And so a long time passed, and the Great Spirit gave each of the four races 2 stone tablets. Ours are kept at the Hopi Reservation in Arizona at Four Corners area on 3rd Mesa. I talked to people around from the black race, and their stone tablets are at the foot of Mount Kenya. They're kept by the Kikuyu tribe. I was at an Indian spiritual gathering about 15 years ago. A medicine man from South Dakota put a beaded medicine wheel in the middle of the gathering. It had the 4 colors from the 4 directions. He asked the people, "Where is this from?" They answered, probably Montana or South Dakota, maybe Saskatchewan. And he said, no, this is from Kenya. It would be just like ours with the same colors. So I guess he's drawing the point that people in Africa understand color like we do, as do the people in Montana, which is fine. I mean, that is like an African flag color. So, I mean, that's cool. But, the stone tablets of the yellow race of people are said to be kept by the Tibetans. If you went straight through the Hopi reservation to the other side of the world, you would come out in Tibet. I don't know where that is. I have never been or heard of a tunnel that leads straight through any Indian reservation straight through to Tibet. I don't believe people could travel to the center of the world. But the Tibetan word for the sun is the Hopi word for the moon. I have not ever researched that, so I can't dispute that. And the Hopi word for the sun is the Tibetan word for the moon. I'm not gonna say I know whether or not that's true. I just highly doubt it. I just think it's just like say, oh, by the way, this is that. It just seems like something people would say. I don't know. I don't believe it. The guardians of the traditions of the people of Europe are the Swiss. In Switzerland, they still have a day when each family brings out its mask. They still know the colors of the families, and they can still know the symbols, some of them. Each of these 4 people have to live in the mountains. Where is this coming from? Like, why do Swiss people have to live in mountains now all of a sudden?
Stereotype.
I don't understand. Like, what are these people? They're the white people now in the mountains? I thought they were building cars, not hot chocolate in mountains.
They make chocolate.
I understand they make chocolate. It's not really making any sense. And it just seems to be talking about silliness. And like, indicative origins that it's like, let's just say these things and put them in a big sentence together, and that'll be right. But, you know, they got up in the morning and looked out over the sunrise. They looked out across the desert, and they saw the Spanish conquistadors coming, covered in armor, like turtles across the land. So this was them. So they went after the Spanish man, and they extended their hand, hoping for the handshake. But instead, the Spanish man dropped a trinket. And so word spread through North America that there was going to be a hard time. And that maybe some of the brothers and sisters had forgotten the sacredness of all things, and all human beings were going to suffer for this on earth. I don't even know. So Spanish people now? I don't know which ones they are. Are they the red people or the yellow people? Or are they the mix of the red and yellow people? And why wouldn't they shake hands? You know, the guy, it bothers me because the guy who wrote this apparently is influencing people, and he's talking about Spanish people showing up and like they don't want to shake hands, they just want to drop trinkets, and that means that, oh shit, dark times coming. They didn't shake our hands. It looks like somebody forgot. You know, and why is it gotta be the Spanish guy's fault? Were they on a siesta?
Probably.
Did they? I don't know. I want to jump to this a little bit because it goes on and on.
Yeah, you're like killing me with the stupidity.
It's just really bad. It just goes on. There's something about New York. And now it's criticizing DNA and genetic splicing and making animals. And prophesizing that we're going to bring back animals. That reminds me of the song that I'm going to go live with the spirit in the sky. It talks about a house in the sky with the great spirit. I wish I could edit that song into this video. That'd be just a great place for it right there. At the center of each and every one of these villages will be native people, and they'll walk as hollow shells upon a prairie of stone. That sounds horrifyingly beautiful. Why would you want to be a hollow shell? I don't want to be a hollow shell. They said that after the eagle lands on the moon, some of these people will begin to leave these prairies of stone and come home and take up some of the old ways and begin to make themselves reborn. Because it's a new day. Why are eagles on the moon?
They aren't.
I guarantee you if I threw an eagle into space, he would not be happy.
You would die.
He would fucking die like crazy. He would be a very unhappy Indian. The prophecies are always either or. We could have come together way back there in 1565, and we could have had a great civilization, but we didn't. Always along the path of these prophecies, we could have, this is it by the way, could have come together, we still could. If we could stop the racial and religious disharmony, we would not have to go through this third shaking. Apparently, I skipped over parts where there was a first and second shaking.
Earthquake?
I'm going to, since I skipped them and did not even comment on them, I'm going to call those first seasoning and second seasoning. And the great seasonings of Salad Planet.
Garlic and shit?
Yeah. Well, see, if you look at Earth from outside, it looks like a giant salad bowl, kind of. And, you know, this whole entire thing sounds fucking ridiculous. So I'm going to just stay in that. And say that we're just a giant mixed salad. And, I think the time may have run out of the video, but
No,
still.
with all the religions and races and stuff, it's kind of like a salad. You throw it all together and then you eat it.
That is true.
If there's a God, he's gonna eat us.
We are a salad for Jesus.
Yeah.
And we are delicious. But anyway, apparently we're going to get the third shaking. The elders say that the chance of that is pretty slim. It seems to me it's pretty slim too. So apparently they don't believe a third shaking is coming. This is why they grind the cheese. I don't know. They say that we could do it is cushioned so it won't be quite as bad. But how do we do this? We do this by sharing teachings that will reunite us as a people of fire, air, water. I'm guessing this is a Captain Planet reference. I don't know.
Or the kid with the arrow on his head.
Avatar. Yeah. Where's Aang? I want to see Aang.
Didn't he die?
No, he had Korra, and then they made that horrible
I'm
season.
gonna stop you right there because I have no clue what a Korra is.
Korra's Aang's granddaughter he had with that other little Filipino girl.
He was like 10.
They grow up and they have sex. He eventually has to windbend her vagina, and then she water bends all over his face. And then they blood bend the baby.
Too much.
No, there's never too much. And then the blood bending comes out of her vagina, and it's like, oh, and yes. And they have that little girl who's blind who can metal bend, and she makes Pyrex dildos.
Oh.
She can metal bend, though, it's true. She can. I remember.
How does she make them Pyrex dildos if she's metal bending?
I assume she heated them.
With what?
Someone when Fire Nation attacked. I don't remember what his name was, so I'm going to say that guy Danzo from Naruto.
Yeah, she would need.
His name sounds like it would be fiery. Danzo.
She would need firepower to mold the glass.
Well, she would be doing the fire dude then. And she would mold the glass. They would make fire.
So what point is it if she's metal bending?
To make the kiln.
What?
It doesn't make sense in the first place. When did any of this make sense? Okay? The point is, some guy think that they are Native Americans that were taught by spirits. And it's getting preposterous. And this was pretty much just my response to all of it. And me venting. It's all very much nonsense that people are overcomplicating the world and making it sound ridiculous. And the second Avatar series really sucked.